Okay, so now I'm in my other car, my wife's car, '02 Honda CRV, and I made a code in this one, and I think in Moto Logic there'll be better information on my vehicle. It didn't have any codes, didn't have any trouble charts, so we're going to look at this real quick, and then we're going to pull up a trouble chart and see what it says. First, we're going to look at the data list. So the car is off, and here's the data list, and I switched it to Fahrenheit. So I'm going to show you that just by looking through the data list, you can find a problem if you know what you're looking for. The car is off, so the calculated load is 0. Coolant temp is 66 degrees because I just barely started it for a second, so that's about how warm it is outside. Fuel trims are close to 0 because the car's off. Map sensor says 2.5 inches of vacuum, which is almost no vacuum, which is about atmospheric pressure. Engine speed 0, vehicle speed 0, timing 0, intake air temp. So this is the air coming into the intake manifold is negative 40 degrees. That's not right. So negative 40 degrees is obviously a mistake, which means there's a problem, and that's the sensor I unplugged, so we can see that in the data list. Throttle position, let's see if this one changes. 9.4. I'm holding it down all the way. That's 90%. So if I let it off halfway or so, we're at 50%. If I let it back off all the way, it's at 9%. And it's kind of glitchy because that's where the screen is messed up, the LCD screen. But you can see when I hold the throttle all the way down, it's about 90%. When I let go of the throttle, it's about 9%, and you can get any reading in between there. If I go slow, it refreshes very slow. It's a slow scan tool. But it's cool that you can see what the throttle position is just by watching the data list. Okay, now I'm going to start the vehicle and see what these numbers do. Okay, so my calculated load is at 30%. My coolant temp will go up. It'll take a little while, but it will go up. My fuel trims are just about 0 still. Those would probably change if I was driving around. Oh, my short-term fuel trim just woke up. So, but it's pretty close to 0, which is good, and you'll learn about that in fuel injection 2. My map, it's 0.8 inches of vacuum. That's really not correct. The calculation is wrong in this scan tool. But anyway, the engine speed 1400 RPM, and that'll go down as it warms up. Vehicle speed is 0 because it's off. Timing is 7.5, which changes when I accelerate, and then intake air temp is negative 40, which is obviously a problem. So we can see the O2 sensors changing. Okay. So now I'm going to shut it off again. See, it said communication error. So it doesn't realize. So when I turn the key off, it got confused. So now we're going to look at the codes. Read codes. P0113 intake air temp sensor circuit high input. So we're going to look up that code and see what the trouble chart is. So there will be another video coming up.